Hi guys, how are you today? I am sorry I'm not in front of the camera because I do have some sort of infection in one of my eye. I don't feel much comfortable being behind the camera, but it is what it is. So I'm showing you my beautiful garden. It's much more gorgeous than my person, so you can look at all of these flowers. And today I have an update of that haul that I bought with all of that very dehydrated plants and very sad plants. I think I bought around 14, 15 plants, and we were updating it monthly. So I think now it's more than a month since I last showed you that plants. I will do that now. I hope you enjoy this type of content. You do. Stay here with me and let's check on all of them, shall we? So the first plant that I showed you last time was the Oncidium Twinkle Jasmine. It was the first one that I unpotted actually. And I'm so happy with this because I've never saved a twinkle before. I've lost two, I think, in the past. And this one, haha, guess what happened to it? So I'm gonna remove it from this jar, but I have to tell you that it's doing pretty well. Actually, let me. I've never removed the plants. As you can see here, I have two new growths. And that's very unexpected. I swear I never saved a twinkle before. I have this one, by the way. I have a jasmine, but it's nice to have double. So there are a few roots sprouting here, and there are roots sprouting here as well. I don't want to disturb these roots, but I'm very, very happy with this plant. Very, very happy because it's not only pushed out one new growth, but two new growths, and it's growing super well inside this glass cloth, or I don't know. It's just a beer glass, so it's growing super well inside it. I'm gonna cover it again. I think the twinkle is loving, enjoying this high humidity environment, and probably it was a healthy plant, who knows. Hopefully we'll keep growing these roots. They are not long enough for me to repot this plant, but the plant is doing super well inside in here. I'm gonna close and I'm gonna grab the next one. The next one is the Pleutralis amphracta. That I have one Pleutralis, I think. Yeah, I do have one. That's not this one. I don't have much experience with amphractas, so I don't know how resilient they are. But this one, I think I showed you last time, there was something sprouting inside here. I never opened, I didn't check how is the root system or anything, especially because this one is not a transparent glass, it's just a normal pot, a normal orchid pot. And I placed some moss on the bottom of this pot, and I covered. And last time I think I put some tape around to avoid air, lots of air to come through. There are some air coming here, but not lots of air, and the humidity is very, very high. So let's see what I have in. Oh my gosh, I think it's attached. I don't think I can show you. Let's try. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a very, very good thing. I can repot that plant. 1 second. I won't do that today. Let me know if you want to see me repotting this plant. It's going to be a very straightforward project, but I need to clean some vases and all that. And I don't know if you can see, but basically the roots. Let me try to get close to you. I don't think you can see because, can you see that? That's a root. This is another root. The roots, they were attached to the base of the pot. So there are 1, 2, 3. They're quite sturdy. Sorry, I'm moving my hands a lot, so it doesn't make much sense. They're very sturdy, and I can see them coming from the new growth. That's the new growth. So there are some roots coming from its base. Can you see there? These are the roots. So there we go. My amphracta is beautiful, and I can finally pot eat up. Oh, that's very good news. I wasn't expecting that to have long roots, and I don't think it will happen to any of the other plants. Very good news. Hey, let's go to the next one. Not that you are asking, but the plants that are completely closed inside their glasses, like the Amphacta, it's like very low maintenance for now, because from the moment that I close them there and I let them be, I don't do anything. I just observe sometimes, but since I saw that something was growing there, I just left it there, and I didn't have to water or to do anything because the humidity is pretty high inside. So the plant is able to photosynthesize because it's transparent on the top, so it's also lots of light is being filtered and going through it. And there are some air circulation, not a lot in that case. This one, the glass never stay on top of this, so the humidity is a little bit higher, but also sometimes I look around and it's falling over, so I need to fix this situation. So this one I haven't seen I have seen this one before because it's sitting on my shelf, and again the glass sometimes is all over the place. So this one is the Cattleya Colvin griseae. It has two growths, but these growths, they have always been here, so nothing new. I don't see any roots. Can you see? I have two growths. They've been here forever. They grow very, very slowly. I think Cattleyas, they don't mature quickly. So I don't know if the plant will have energy to give energy to these two babies for them to be able to push out roots. If these two new babies, if they don't push out roots, I may lose this plant. Although I have two green growths, which is amazing, but I need some roots to hydrate the plant and for them to grow and maybe produce more growths. But this plant, even if it survives, it will take a few years. I don't know how many years, but I will have to wait a lot for it to be able to bloom, mature, and become a fully recovered plant. I place it back there just to show you. Let's go to the next one. So talking about low maintenance plants, this one is one of them because it has been here forever. The moss is a live moss, so it's creating a new layer of live moss on top of the moss. I have even some grass growing inside this pot. Anyway, this one is Prosticea alata. So I do believe this one was a young plant and push out a new growth that's very small, but last time I checked it didn't have long roots, so the roots were not long enough to be able to grow, and I don't know if they have grown much since then, so I will open and let's explore together. I don't know if you can see the grass in here. I'm gonna remove it. Find it funny, but yeah. Grass is full of roots. I don't know if you can see. Let's see what happened to my Prosticea. I'm gonna focus on that for you to see the beautiful roots. There we go. Can you see the roots? So I do have 1, 2, 3 roots, and I do have a new growth. But the roots are not long, super long, and the new growth it is too small, so I don't feel confident enough to repot this plant just yet. I want to give it more time for the roots to grow more, and then maybe for this new growth to become a mature growth. So I don't know, I will keep it still there because I feel like if I give it more time, it may grow more, and then I will give it another chance to survive. But nonetheless, super hopeful about this plant. And again, it's the same case of the Cattleya. I don't believe this plant will mature very quickly. I think it will take a while for this to be able to bloom for me. But since I have other orchids, I won't mind if this one survives. I think in a few years and this one blooms, it will be so nice to have this one to tell a story, to say, hey, This one is one of that plants that I try to save one day. I think it will have this as a magic aspect to my orchids. Let me put it back. So this one is my Brassiara. I told you that when I received it, I decided to pot this plant up because I noticed that it had some roots that were still alive and it had a new growth. So I thought this new growth will produce a completely new root system. I can see that we have a root here, but it's very tiny. It has never developed it. So I don't know if I have anything to show you by this point. Let me just check while we are here. Why not, right? I don't think so. I cannot see any roots on the pot. So when I do that, I can see one root here and it is green, which means alive. But like when I check, let's go a little bit deeper. But the only thing is I don't want to disturb any of the roots on this pot because if I disturb this root, I may lose my plant. Yeah, I do have some roots here. Tiny roots. Let me see if I can show you if I come closer. Can you see here the root? Can you see another root there? And some roots here. So yeah, so far so good. Even though it pushes some roots, some new roots, the newer growth. It's going. It's not like a super fast grower, but it is healthy. I can see that the plant is hydrated, which is always a good sign. Let's go to the next one. So this one is the SLC Firelighter Red. This one, I don't know if I repotted in front of the camera. I think so. It was one of these glass cloths, so it pushed out long roots, and I decided to repot it and place it inside this opaque pot, so I cannot show you what is happening inside. But I noticed the roots were growing like towards the air outside of the median. But I think one of the roots died, which is pretty sad. I was a little bit worried because I could see some dieback on one of the leaves and I thought it was an infection and I couldn't control the infection. It's still here. It does have a newer growth. I didn't want to rot this growth, so I was a little bit worried. Hopefully I didn't. It's still there, doing nice. So it has a new growth. I'm gonna show you everything up close so we can see one root. Can you see the newer growth here? That's the newer growth. And also, I don't know if I can focus perfectly, but yeah, can you see the green here? So that's a root that I'm sure is still alive. However, one of the roots died. So let me try to show you. Cattleyas hate to have their roots disturbed, so that's why I don't want to really touch them because I think this one is dead. I don't know if it was with the plant when I repotted and it died, or if maybe I watered too much. That's also in maybe I root rot. Maybe it was my fault. And yeah, so this one I think is dead. I don't know if we have any new other roots. I don't really want to look into the median because I'm really scared of disturb these roots. This one is supposed to be one of these beautiful small cattleyas. Oh, and hopefully I'll be able to keep this one since I do have a newer growth here. So if this one is a healthy plant, hopefully it will be able to keep growing inside this tiny pot. And that is my little cattleya. So the next one is the Zygopetalum. Let's change plants. So the Zygopetalum, I repotted with the Firelighter Red, sorry. And again, it was the same case. The roots were very long, and I said that I'm usually lucky with Zygopetalums for any reason. I have a newer growth, so I have a new growth pushing through. It's coming here. Just noticed it this week, with very, very good news. I just filled the pot as well. This is a self-watering pot, so I filled it with water. I don't think I can see any roots from the pot. So unfortunately, because I decided to go with these dark pots, I cannot show you if we can see any roots on the pot yet. And the ventilation holes, there is no roots that are long enough and they are just up there yet. So I think it's doing okay because the plant is still green and also the leaves are plump, which means we have some roots because they need to be hydrating the leaves and also feeding the leaves. So I'm happy with the result with this one. It's growing happily. It pushed through a new growth. So soon I will have a pot full of roots and I'll be able to show you. This one I'm very, very hopeful. Let's go to the next one. That's the lycast. Do you want to see the state of the lycast? I've never showed you. I told you that I will not be able to save it. Before I put it back, I will tell you that I still think the same. I think he shouldn't have sold me something that would die because there were no eyes. It was just a back bulb with any. I couldn't see when it arrived any growth point where a new growth could sprout from. So it's just a very shriveled, wrinkled, dehydrated bulb. It's still there, but I'm almost sure that I will lose it. Whoa, that's the lycast. That's the final state of the lycast. So as you can see, it's dehydrating like nothing, and yeah, there is no growth point whatsoever. So I do believe at one point it will be gone forever. That's it. This one is another one of the ones that I potted just when it arrived because I could see some roots and I was very hopeful that these plants would do super well. However, this one is, I don't know, it's strange compared to the Brassiara. It has never pushed through a new root. It has a new growth. This is the new growth. Tiny, tiny new growth with a very, very sad second growth here without a bulb, and then the pseudobulb is here. I don't see any roots. So I don't see any roots on the pot. I don't see any roots sprouting from the new growth. Let me see again. By the way, can you see this white thing here? That's a pesticide stick that I got on Amazon, I think I don't know, 2 months ago maybe. And I inserted in all of my orchids here in the living room. So the thrips is under control right now because it seems to be working. Anyway, it's there. But yeah, no new roots, nothing's happening here. I'm a little bit worried. I don't know, something is weird. Maybe the plant is only is low. Hopefully it will recover, or maybe I'll have to increase the humidity here on top as well in order to save this plant. But yeah, nothing new here, nothing's happening here. So unfortunately, I cannot give you amazing good news. And I am really sorry about the noise. Is the thing about living in a big city. It always happens. So I will get you the last one that I don't know if something happened in there or not. Let's explore together. So the last one is another Prosticchia. I forgot the name of this one. I will place on the screen. One of my viewers on this channel, she told me that she reused plastic bottles to create this type of chambers, and I thought the idea amazing. So that's what I've done here. I cut and I open the upper part of the bottle, and I use that to basically place these very tall orchids inside. It does work. It works as a chamber, and it's a way of reusing these plastic bottles. It is here for a while. I haven't noticed anything sprouting yet, but I will remove from this cloth now and we can explore together, and maybe, who knows, we may have something here, we may not, I don't know. So this one is another side story because I remember when I got it, I look at this dark portion here and I was worried that it would not have any growth point. so it wouldn't be able to push out new growths. And so far, and unfortunately, I was right. So I cannot see anything growing or sprouting from this plant. What the only option that this plant has is something here on this side. But since it's pretty dark and strange, I don't know. I know that it's still green and it is inside my plastic bottle and it will be for a while. So that's the last plant. That's what I want to show you today. All of these updates. If that's the type of content that you enjoy watching, like this video, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear more from you. And just to conclude this video, I have 10 plants from that 15 bundle that I bought. I will link all the videos down below if you're curious about when I repot these and also what happened to the plants on the way. And that's it. And I will see you on Saturday.